Hi, everyone, and welcome back for part 2 of our episode where I get to get information directly from the horse's mouth. We get to understand youth's point of view and allow them to have a voice when it comes to navigating their own sexual and reproductive health matters. And this is just a continuation of last week's episode where we got a bit of insight as to what their background was, where they came from, the kind of information or lack of information that was present at the time. And so we want to build up and see, has that changed? Have things gotten a bit better, or are we still struggling? Do we still have gaps that we need to bridge and navigate so that they're able to understand themselves a bit better? And especially so, because we're always thinking about future generations. What can we do better given what we had or the resources we have at this time? So I'll start by quickly just asking for a reintroduction, just so that everyone remembers your names. Maybe I can start. This time I'll start with you, Grace.
Sure. Hi, I am Murigi Grace Njeri, a second year in Kenyatta University School of Education, taking English and Literature, and also a peer counselor. Yeah.
Fantastic. What about you?
Hello, my name is Sn2 Ep2. I am the chairperson of Kenyatta University Peer Counsellors. Pleasure being here.
Fantastic. And what are you studying at
I
KU?
am doing education,
Mm.
fourth year, that is mathematics and business.
Mhm.
And yeah.
You're the guy I need to come for maths lessons. I'm struggling. Still struggling. Yes, my dear.
So I'm Carren Okello, a second year student taking Education Arts, English Literature.
Fantastic. So again, I just want to express my gratitude for you guys being here with me on set and being brave enough to share your stories and just to help with misinformation and informing, because sometimes we have the best interest at heart when we want to do better by the youth, but we don't actually come to you for solutions. We feel like we are only coming to give you guys the solution. So I like that you're able to come and voice your opinions. And you gave us a beautiful insight into your journey so far, coming from growing up through primary school and high school, and mostly what sounded like lack of information and lack of access and lack of guidance. And so now I want to pick up from that conversation and we start the journey into university. And hopefully things have improved. Hopefully things have changed now that you're peer counselors as well. So because a lot of the audience will not understand what that means, so we'll go into that. But before I jump the gun, maybe now transition from, I'll start with you, Grace, transition from university, from high school through to university. What was the journey before you got access to the peer counseling program? What was your journey in terms of, did things improve? Now you have even more access to people. The diversity in university is even bigger than what it was in high school. Walk me through that first contact with other students your age and the kind of information. So peer pressure, was there more access to the internet? I imagine for sure there was. What was that journey like for you?
Okay, so for me, after high school, now coming to campus, there's that notion that campus, there's a lot of freedom. You get to do what you feel like you want to do without anyone really monitoring you.
Yeah.
So I was, let's say, curious and excited, but again, I was afraid. As I had said in the previous episode, I was this kind of person who was raised in an enclosed setup. I'm not really exposed to interacting with people much. Now I'm coming to this place where my mom is not there, my dad is not there.
Yeah.
There's no teacher to monitor what I'm doing around school. I think it was a nice experience, but again, full of fears, what might happen. But again, during our first week matriculation, the school, the orientation before the matriculation day, they bring speakers to talk to students. Now, if you attend the orientation, that is to your advantage.
Okay.
If you feel like I have the freedom, I
Yeah.
don't have to go there,
Yeah.
you might miss out on
Okay.
that basic information that they provide. So I'd say the school played a big role in just sensitizing us a bit before I really came into contact with peer counselors, whom I interacted with when I was in my second week.
Okay.
Yeah, they usually have we usually have programs for the first years in their halls of residence. That is where I got contact with peer counseling,
That's
and that is
fantastic.
what one of the things that inspired me to be one.
Become one yourself. I like that. So you didn't have to walk the walk on your own?
Not really.
That's fantastic. Okay. And what about you, Steven?
For me, when I transited from secondary to university, it was more of freedom, but I realized freedom was not freedom.
With
because
freedom comes responsibility.
now freedom was not freedom.
Mhm.
But in regards to now the SRH aspect, there was the aspect of I didn't get the orientation she's saying because I joined weeks later
Okay.
after they had when they had the orientation.
Mhm.
But in the course, I had now to work it as Steve Obiero.
Mhm.
Now you are your father and your mother.
Mhm.
Yeah, they don't need you. The parent will send you money,
Mhm.
and you budget for yourself.
Yeah.
Because that is the first time I can remember. I said, "Dude, my dad sends me 2,000, and tells me
How
I
do I
call
make
him
it
next
stretch?
week."
Yeah.
I was like, "This is big money." But
You have to figure it out in
yeah,
between.
but it came with responsibility,
Mm.
and also what also from there now it started. Now I now went into games,
Mhm.
which most part of my time I used to be more in taekwondo
Mhm.
and more in football. So I would balance. This week I go to football. Next week I go to taekwondo because I used to go because of the allowance. That was the motivation.
Okay.
Because
For this allowance.
there was allowance for
Okay.
playing for the institution.
Well, times have changed.
But
Okay. All
but
right.
in that regards, there was still I didn't know about the SRH
Mhm.
until now. There was the all of residence talk.
Mhm.
There was a talk within the halls of residence, where for me I never went to listen on SRH.
Mm.
I went because of refreshments.
Right.
Yeah,
So I like
because
that they bribe you all the way. Every step along the way, they're like, we know how you think. So come and eat something.
so they told
you
me
might hear something.
yeah,
in
there
the
were
process.
refreshment in plenty.
Yeah.
Your M-Pesa balance is something like 50 shillings.
Right.
So if refreshment is plenty, let me go save my money. I go
Yeah.
take the refreshments.
Right.
Yeah, that was it.
And while you're there, you learn something.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. What about you, Carren?
Thank you. When I joined campus, actually, I didn't in my first week. I didn't know all this about this, that there is these things called sexual reproductive, the clubs and stuff. So when we were in those matriculations, that these people, or rather, they always say their position. And I heard about there is this talk of peer counseling. So I wanted to know them, who they are. So in my second week, it's second week when they did the halls of residence stuff, where the peer counselors came. They had posters. So when you knew this, they want you to have their numbers. They want you to save. So you must save maybe 1, 2. So through their status, I saw the posters. There are these things. You're supposed to go to this hostel, and you're being taught. I wanted to know what they are going to talk about. So I went, and actually the way he said, down there they wrote refreshments in plenty. And you going to
Now I know
that
the
you
secret.
going to that place, and you're seeing the refreshments are there, but you're not being given. So you must sit
And
until they
listen.
finish.
Yeah.
So you must be patient, and at the same time you're gaining some knowledge. So through that I knew all this about what they were doing. But personally, yes, I'm not all this in their club.
Yeah.
So but he has been a friend. So he used to I used to see his status. Maybe he posts, he say this he encourage people via his status.
Status on what?
About the maybe
No,
that
I mean,
there's
what
some days
app or
the
is it a
status
WhatsApp.
WhatsApp?
Yeah,
That's what I
WhatsApp.
want to be specific on. Yeah.
WhatsApp. So he can post, then I view. So after that I gain some knowledge. So there is this thing. And campus life, people always go to these parties, clubs. And if you at least have some knowledge, at least you have this person you can ask because he has been in that school, I
Yeah.
came and found him there.
Yeah.
At least I can ask him about these things.
Yeah.
So at least my journey with them as friends at least has
It has made it a
impacted
bit
me.
easier for
Yeah,
you.
at least
Okay.
I now know what the things I can do in campus. So I'm not like going that astray. I now have
You
some
have a bit of
knowledge.
guidance.
Yeah.
Okay, I like that. When you say the Hall of Residence talks, what exactly is covered? Just so that we have a bit more understanding. What is covered during that talk? Because it sounds like it starts from right at the beginning, second week of school. You're not really being left by yourself. You have some guidance. But what was the topic of discussion?
Okay, so every time the first years are admitted,
Mm-hmm.
we have an event for them.
Mm-hmm.
We want to capture them from the time they enter school and to walk them through the journey.
Mm-hmm.
So around the second week there, the school helps us through the housekeepers and the congresses around the hostels to mobilize the first years.
Mm-hmm.
They come to the rooms and we talk to them on matters sexual reproductive health,
Okay.
mental health,
Mm-hmm.
and their own security.
Mm-hmm.
You know, maybe someone might be threatened by some other student and they feel maybe it's their right. You know, it's campus anyway. No one
Because
is.
again, when you're the fresher,
Uh-huh.
you can actually end up with quite a bit of abuse before you
Mhm.
settle down and understand
Mhm.
this should not be happening to
Sure.
me. Yeah.
Just enlightening them on some campus life, the seas of life.
Mm-hmm. Okay. And that happens right at the beginning.
Sure.
Yeah, just to add something, we always dub it as the first year's orientation,
Mm-hmm.
and basically we do it in regards to reproductive health
Okay.
talk. So we can't just talk about, because it is just we do it within a span of 2 hours,
Mm-hmm.
2 to 3 hours. We can't, because we
You
just
don't want it to
given
be
us.
too long as well. Yeah.
We don't want to bore people.
Yeah.
Because probably, the first year, when you talk about sex, remember this, probably somebody was caged.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
That's also true.
And now when you start to talk about sex,
And
and
now
they
this
want
is
to
such
see
an awkward conversation.
they want to see condom, and they'll be like, so we always glue it with the mental health.
Mm-hmm.
We talk about financial management, because now you are going to manage your finances as self.
Mm-hmm.
So that now you know that now you're coming into responsible field.
Yeah.
Then we also try to give them the aspect of sexual harassment and how you can go matters rape.
Mm-hmm.
And the key thing that we do, because we work under Directorate Health Services within the university.
Mm-hmm.
So because we work under the Directorate of Health Services within the university,
Mm-hmm.
we want to now tell them your health is very important.
Mm-hmm.
And so we must first tell you, where do you get the services when you need them?
Mm-hmm.
So that is what we always do and
Okay.
take the work.
So that if I'm new to the university, I understand already what's available and how to access those services.
Yes.
Yeah, and I remember through that I came to know there is this health unit. You're supposed to go to this place because they even came with the nurses and so they were actually telling us all these stuffs. Yeah.
Okay.
So
And given the background you had come from, did you feel a difference walking into such a setup? Given that you're coming from a space where no one has talked to you about sex, no one is talking about providing services. I mean, have you had this before, So coming into university, what was your mindset in terms of when they first, because you've talked about it from now a provider point of view. I want to know what your experience, for you, Steven, what was your experience when you first walked in and they started talking to you about sex? And your background, you have had no information or little to no information.
So that's as I said, that there are people who never had the information. Yes. So I was one of those people who are not informed.
Yeah.
And so from there is when I started getting the information on what is sex, because now they start talking about sex and sexuality. Yeah.
Was it triggering? Did it make you uncomfortable? That's sort of the idea I want to
literally
understand.
for me, I felt uninterested. I felt it very uninteresting for first time.
Okay.
But what became now interesting was now I saw the female condom.
Okay.
And there was this thing looking like So that's what
that
now
the first time you see one of those, you're like, what is this contraption?
So what now attracted at first the conversation, because the normal conversation Steve has been living is that sex, we don't speak about sex. But now here I'm coming, we are speaking about sex.
Yeah.
And now I know that I know I know how to use condom, but now I'm being told no, this is the
This is the
correct
correct way to do it.
way to do it.
Yeah.
That's what now attracted me. And by that time, there were these props of the male, the props,
Yeah.
and I was like, dude, where am I?
Yeah.
But after that, I got interested.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Interesting. And what about you, Grace?
For me, it was very interesting. I was very much interested, and generally too, it was just interesting.
Okay.
Kwanza, having nurses who are not our age,
Yeah.
they are older,
Yeah.
but they're talking to you like they're so much passionate about you, and you feel like they care. Yeah, so it was so interesting, and I really wanted to just be around them, and luckily I got to be one of them.
Okay. Fantastic. So now I'll walk down the journey of the program itself. And because the two of you are part of the program, maybe you can give me a bit of understanding. What exactly, so that myself and the audience can understand, what exactly is the peer counseling program at Kenyatta University?
So just to say something, the peer counseling Kenyatta University is consisting of both staff and students who are trained on provision of youth-friendly services in regards to sexual reproductive health.
Okay.
So these people are trained and they're certified. Yeah.
Okay. And so you have members of the team who are staff members and some who are students. Maybe paint me or walk me down the hierarchy so that I
So
understand.
I would like to walk you down the hierarchy of this. Apparently, it is not a club. We are now treating it as a school project.
Okay, I like that.
Because we realize it is impacting people. So the institution saw the essence of having it as a project.
Okay.
And now we consider ourselves a family, which concentrate on the welfare and also counseling services.
Okay.
So we have two wings. That is the student wing, that is the peer counselors. And we also have the clinical wing, that is the clinical staffs.
Okay.
But the person in charge of within the institution, the patron of this project is the vice chancellor.
Okay.
But he delegates the duty to our director, who is the director for the health unit or the health services within the institution.
Right.
We also have a staff in charge of the student who coordinates the students. And the staff basically is in charge of the interest of the students.
Yeah.
We also work hand in hand with the director student affairs because remember we are now working matters students. So we work very closely with the director student affairs. So basically that's how the hierarchy runs.
Okay.
From the vice chancellor, then now we have the director. Then we have director student affairs. We have director health unit because we are dealing with health.
Yes. Yeah.
Then now from director health unit, we come to director student affairs. Then we have the coordinators who are we have the clinical coordinator and the student coordinator. Then now we have the peer counselors. Yes.
Okay, and the peer counselors now are the students.
So peer counselors are the students.
Okay.
Within various institutions.
Okay.
Like within various faculties.
Right.
Yeah. We are not just from one school. We have people from School of Education. We have School of Humanity. We have people from School of Medicine. We have, because we believe in inclusivity and diversity.
Okay.
We also have the able differently.
Okay.
We also involve them, and we have them within us. Yes.
That's a fantastic program. How do you become a peer counselor? That's because it sounds rigorous. Because I mean, I imagine there has to be qualities that they look out for in order to make someone go through the program and get training. But how do you become a peer counselor?
Okay, so when there is need for training for the peer counselors, applications are made known to people. Like students are told to apply. So you write a cover letter and you also give us a CV.
Okay. So
Then,
like a job. Okay.
It's some sort of a job.
Yeah.
And then we will cancel out some because we are looking at the best of the best.
So what are the qualities of a peer? This is fun. What are the qualities that you look out for a peer counselor?
Okay, for the first phase, we'll just look at how presentable is your CV, how presentable is your cover letter. You have to stand out.
You have to stand out. You have to put some thought into it. Yeah.
And then we'll call you for an interview. Then out of the interview, we will have some, like we won't just get everyone. We look at your confidence. your dressing code, because it's something formal.
Yeah.
Your dressing code, your confidence,
Mhm.
how audible are you
Mhm.
when I'm conversing with you in that interview room?
Mhm.
Because as I've said, we have to get the best.
Yeah.
Again, after that, we sit and talk, and now we finalize on a specific number depending on the budget that has been provided,
Mhm.
either by the school or by the partners.
Mhm.
Then after that, there is a 13 days training,
Okay.
thorough training
That
for the
sounds
peer
intense.
counselors.
Yeah. Because 13, that's wow, that's a long time.
Mhm.
Okay. And
From
what does the training look like? What does it involve?
the first day, it's just the background of peer counseling, how it started in the early 90s to curb pregnancies and all that.
Mhm.
And then we invite specialists.
Mhm.
Some will talk about deep reproductive health.
Mhm.
Others will talk about mental health, financial management, everything that touches the life of a student,
Okay.
everything.
Yeah.
And first aid, all that. And then we have a graduation at the
Okay.
end of the session.
Yeah.
A mega one. It's a mega thing.
This is, yep, it sounds like it.
Uh-huh. Yeah,
Right.
we have a graduation.
Mhm.
We just have fun and celebrate the far that we've come.
Yeah.
Then after the training, that's not the end.
Mhm.
As we go on, we have capacity building sessions. For instance, the National Nurses Association of Kenya, they've played a big role in capacity building our peer counselors on post-abortal care, but now it was just a sensitization because students are going through these things and we have to be equipped so that we can handle them.
Okay.
Yeah, so we have some sessions for just sharpening more. Yeah.
Okay. Just to help fine tune the skills when it comes to the more challenging aspects for other students. Okay. It sounds very organized.
Okay, it is very organized.
Yeah.
Very.
Because uh, remember, we never said about one thing that we always believe is continuity. So we must get people who stand out. For a program to continue,
Yeah.
we must get those who are passionate.
Yeah.
We don't want those who come there, then after Steve is gone. Remember, I was left there in 2019. And soon I'm exiting
Yeah.
campus.
Yeah.
I need, if I leave, somebody who takes over, take it
Takes it in the right
the
direction. and
next
grows it.
level.
Yeah.
We don't want it to go down,
Yeah.
but we want it to always move up.
Okay.
This is now, we need people who can embrace this project to continue to the next level. And that's why we must get somebody who is outstanding.
Okay.
Another thing, we value volunteerism. We don't get paid.
Okay.
Literally, we do
Interesting.
this thing for free.
Right.
That rigorous process,
Yeah.
we are trying to prepare ourselves for the outside world.
Mm.
Because I can say without any fear or favor that the skills I've gotten from peer counseling are very great that I couldn't have got if I was looking for money.
Yeah.
Here I've just come. When I volunteer, I get myself into various opportunities. Yes.
That's true. And also, it molds you into someone who's ready for the real world. Because out here, you're supposed to be able to stand up for yourself. You're supposed to be confident, vocal, have an understanding and regulation of your own self. Because you said, like, it's not just freedom, there's a lot of responsibility with it. And also, I feel like because you're being taught so much, you come out with a lot of life skills as well. Because when you talk about financial management, where else will you get that kind of information, right? So, when the program started for you, when you joined the program, did you feel, because it sounds like it's very rigorous and then it makes you feel, I need to own this and grow it. How did it make you feel coming from, again, you sort of had the same background where there wasn't much information and now you're having not just access, but the ability to also help other people your age. How has that impacted you as a person? Maybe I start with you, Grace.
Personally, it has made me love the community more. So more into community service, more into relating with people, and more into being empathetical with people and trying to understand people's point of view.
Okay.
Yeah, and just trying to be there for them. You can't solve their problems, but we'll have options that might work out for them. So it's an amazing thing being able to connect with people and sharing out your ideas.
Okay. And what about you, Steven?
For me, I've grown. I have grown. I was very naive boy,
Right.
but I grew in terms of confidence. I have grown to be a leader, and I can now affirm that leaders are made. However, some are born, but leaders can be made.
Yeah. That's powerful.
What peer counseling have done to me, it has also connected me to various opportunities. So when I came, I felt I should hone in. However, at that moment, I faced some criticism where they dubbed peer counseling as condom.
Okay.
When Carren sees me, for the first time I met her, she recognized me because of female condom.
Female condom.
That is the hit.
Yeah. And that's the first impression, and it
yeah.
lasts. Yeah.
So you go to class, these are your classmates, you have a sensitization. So the time you don't have class, you go to hostel talks. Or at times you decide to have an evening door-to-door talks, where you go door-to-door, you do your talks. For me, it was building my confidence. At the same time, I was empowering other people.
Right.
Yes.
Yeah.
But the criticism came, you go give condom. You tell somebody something, you go give people condom.
Because of course they'll always, when you're doing something great, there'll always be critics.
But I thank God because I never saw the critics.
Okay.
For me, I saw the opportunity.
Right. Good.
Because by that time, they were saying I go issue condom. It was coincidentally, that's the time the king of condom was in KU.
Right. Okay.
And
okay.
Thank God, by that time they were asked, who do you know about condom? Who do you know who promotes this issue of condom? They said Steve. I got myself an opportunity.
Fantastic.
And there went, did my volunteer work. At least I got something at the end of the day.
Good. Okay.
Yeah.
So it's given you a lot of access and networks to be able to grow opportunities.
Network. Currently, I'm into Student for Liberty, courtesy of Peer Counsellors.
Fantastic.
I am also doing data entry for NACADA, courtesy of Peer Counsellors.
Fantastic.
So you see the avenues.
Yeah. So
I'm telling you, peer counseling has now molded, because when I came, I saw the opportunity. And I never saw the aspect of the criticism and also this thing on people saying that this and this. And also because I wanted to give back to the society, I saw this was the best avenue.
Okay.
Because being just a mere student leader, I felt like it will restrict me to work within the given area. But as a peer counselor, it gave me an avenue to work for all the students within the school.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay. You had something to add?
Just to add, you see, within peer counseling, there are leadership opportunities for the peer counselor. So the chairperson, vice chairperson, secretary. This gives each peer counselor a chance to grow more on leadership. If it's maybe the secretary writing proposals and all that, and if it's the enrich and outreach coordinator reaching out to corporates and all that, it gives you a very big chance and opportunity to just grow on how to.
Yeah, because that's amazing skill development. Those are skills that will come in very handy out here in the real world, so to speak, because very few people understand proposal writing, for example, or what it takes to raise funds from corporates and other institutions. So that's actually pretty brilliant. You had mentioned partners. So how does that work? Who are the partners, and how does that work when it comes to the program?
So when we talk about partners, we are very privileged to have Pathfinder International, which is the main partner. But the first partner is the Kenyatta University administration. We must acknowledge that.
Yeah.
Then now we have the Pathfinder International. We have the National Nurses Association of Kenya, the NAC, then NKA, that also sponsor our capacity building as peer counselor.
Yeah.
We have MSF, where they sponsor some of us for other trainings in regard to sexual, the rapid response on sexual harassment. And thank God we also have Ministry of Health. The Nairobi County Ministry of Health has recognized one of our own to be a promoter. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, a health promoter within the community. So the county government has taken one of our own to be the promoter within the institution. We also have the PPG, which has come on board.
PPG, for the audience.
Planned Parenthood Global.
Okay.
Has come on board, and now they want to empower us economically by sponsoring us, because we need to have income generating projects
Okay.
for us to run this project. Not
Yeah.
every now that we want, we go to
You're
partner.
always looking for the partner's
We-
budget. Yeah.
Yeah, so we have an income generating ideas where we
Okay.
want to bring, and they are already there. They
Mhm.
want to come, and they have stood with us
Right. Okay.
in terms of training.
Yeah.
Because the first thing is information.
Mhm.
They have tried to train us.
Mhm.
Now it is now for us now to go to the ground and do the investment whilst they have trained us,
Mhm.
so that we come with the income. Borrowing, asking money every now and again. The moment you knock on the door, somebody will be bored with you. Will
Yeah.
be bored with you.
Yeah.
But the moment you can now stand as self, it also gives you that independence and say that at least they sponsored us. Now we don't need to borrow them every now and again and ask them for their support.
True.
Yes.
And that's very important. And it also gives you a bit of independence. You're able to create your own budgets and the
Yeah,
spending.
it gives us independence as well as it helps us in the aspect of financial management.
True.
Because when you are doing this, we are not, the management will just come and tell us, Steve, do this. But the key control is with the peer counseling.
Right. Okay.
It is run by the peer counseling.
Right.
And we are planning, that has now, we are having a very diverse tuck shop
Mhm.
that PPG are trying to bring.
Mhm.
We want to leave the tuck shop of having the normal food stuff,
Mhm.
but we want to bring this SRH materials. We want to bring
Okay.
the condoms within.
Mhm.
We want to bring the sanitary pads.
Mhm.
Definitely, what revolves about the dignity pack.
Mhm.
Yes,
Mhm.
of within the lady and
Mhm.
also the male,
Mhm.
because we cater for both.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay, that sounds really amazing. The other thing is, because I know how parents will receive this information, it also sounds time consuming. So, how do you balance being a peer counselor and being a student and actually doing the work that took you to university? How does that work for you?
I'd say class time is class time,
Okay.
no missing classes.
Mhm.
Then your extra time, you'll now have to plan yourself and learn how to prioritize things.
Mhm.
Everything is good, but again, not everything is beneficial.
Mm.
So you'll have to know this time I'll have to study. I have a cut, I
Yeah.
have classes, I have exams. That
Yeah.
is the main reason why I am in school. But again, I have a program to run, I have students to attend to.
Mhm.
Yeah, as we had mentioned, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, majorly counseling and all that. And then Thursdays, we bring them to our office for a one-on-one talk and training them on some things. And then Fridays, we go to their hostels for condom refills. Yeah.
Okay. So there's a program, but then school time is dedicated to school
So,
time.
so just to clarify something that she has said, when we say that class time is class time, we mean that, remember, we are coming from diverse faculties. When our Obiro will be having class, Grace will not have class. Yes. So that now tells that the time Obiro leaves to go to class, there will be somebody
Somebody else
replacing
is
Obiro.
replacing. Okay. Okay.
Yes.
So it's still
So
functional.
it is functional.
Yeah.
Obiro goes to class, but there's somebody who still makes sure that the resource room, literally, the institution has given us a resource room where we can have our clients come and we talk to them. And it's a safe place where we can bring people on board. So that means that the aspect of continuity still moves on.
Right.
When Obiro goes to class, there's somebody to cover up for Steve. And when this person have a class, there's another person. Remember, currently we are active 85 peer counselors.
Fantastic. Okay.
However, the number might be small, but we feel that it still supports
It does,
the
yeah.
student.
Yeah, that's
Yes.
fantastic. I think now this is the point where I plug Carren in so that she doesn't get too bored. So, just so that we get from your perspective, have you had any interaction with the peer counselors on a personal level? And if you're comfortable, maybe you can share that experience with us.
Oh, yes, I have so
Mhm.
many times.
Mhm.
And actually, the way I'm hearing them saying,
Mm.
it's actually true. They always even coordinate so many things within the institution.
Mhm.
They also have these, I don't know if they call them the enrich.
Also,
Yeah.
yeah, enrich
Yeah. So
activities.
they have
Okay.
these activities that they do within the school.
Mhm.
So at that time, I'll see they always have, I don't know, tents.
Mhm.
They put their tents in school.
Mhm.
So if you pass, you'll see, okay, there is something going on here,
Mhm.
and there are students doing this thing.
Mhm.
Let me branch and see whatever thing they are doing.
Yeah.
So if I branch, I see, or rather, they explain to us or they tell us what they are doing, what their activities, and they even tell us this how to use the condoms. They have them there. They demonstrate to us how to use it. So actually, through
Steven is
them,
blushing.
through them, I've come to learn a lot.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So you feel supported and you constantly feel like you have access to
Yes,
them. Okay.
yes. Because even if I have problem, I'll actually, maybe I don't know where to go, but I'll reach to them
Okay.
because they're my friends.
Okay.
But if they can't do it, they'll refer me to someone.
Okay.
Through them, I've received the support that I wanted.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
So it's really a good
So
thing.
they'll bridge the gap to
Yeah,
even the
yeah.
services that you didn't know or you don't know how to access.
True.
If you reach out to one of the peer counselors, they're able to give you that.
They really,
information.
they're always ready to help you.
That sounds amazing.
Yeah.
You guys must be doing a fantastic job. So in your own opinion, maybe Carren, for you, are there any specific services that stand out to you that are provided through this program?
The services, actually, they always, through them, I've known there is this place called Ghana in the school, within the school.
Okay.
It's not a country. Yes.
Yeah, I was like,
within
where
the
is
school.
this?
Yes. Within the
I'm
school.
like, are we now in Ghana? Is KU in Ghana?
So it's just a name. So through them, I've known that if I have a problem, like it's not this one, if not this of malaria, or if you have other problems, or rather if you want the counseling that they don't offer, I'll go to Ghana.
Okay.
And I'll receive them.
Okay.
If I want to test my status, that's HIV and stuff, I know I'll go to this place. Through them, they'll tell me, go to this place, this and this day, the place is open and you'll be helped. So, through them, we've come to know. And actually, again, through them, on Fridays, I always see them distribute condoms to hostels.
Okay.
So,
Steven, it's just marking you more as the condom guy. it's just highlighting you more.
No.
Right. But it's a good title to have. Honestly.
Yeah,
That's
actually,
a championing that's applaudable, honestly.
Yeah, it's nice because actually it's helping people. Because when they come to the hostels, it's always on Fridays. Yeah, so when they come to hostels, they will distribute the condoms. And so, our hostels, there is always that 10 to 10 rule. These other genders can come to your hostel and you don't know what's happening to the hostels. Maybe the person has come and it doesn't have all those things that they're supposed to use, the protections. So if they come and find them there in the reception, because they're always there.
Right.
You'll go there and find the condoms. You'll pick and go. But it's because of them. So they always make sure the life of youths or the university students are always
made easier. Okay. You mentioned a 10 to 10 rule. What is that?
It's okay. Let me say it's a rule that's placed in this institution.
Yeah.
So before Corona, they used to tell us that during Corona or before, they were not other genders were not allowed to come to the hostels.
Right. Okay.
Yeah. So right now, after the Corona, they've introduced that rule. So 10 a.m. you can come to the hostel, but at 10 p.m. you're not supposed to be in the hostel.
Oh, okay.
So it's between that time.
Okay.
Yeah,
okay.
you're supposed they can
you
go
can mingle freely.
Yeah.
Okay. Understandable. How do you feel the program in general, now this is to any one of you, has impacted others? So what have you seen, if anything, that you've had some impact in someone's life? Has there been a situation that stood out for you?
For me, I'll say yes. And we have situations, not just one.
Not just one.
Because when we have had, number one, we had various things to do with the abortions. So, but you realize that the person they can confide in is the peer counselors. They'll come and ask you, Steve, nimepata ball, nimemeza P2, and I'm like, I feel like jawak. So, you're now telling them, because the problem, they look for quacks who will tell them pay 5,000, pay what. But for us, we don't charge you. that is a safe space. So for some of the ladies who have come to our office will confirm that for us, we will do something called referral. Remember, abortion is something that we can't handle as
Handle at your
ourselves.
level, yeah.
So we do it for clinical. We do it first. We refer you to professional counselors who talk to you. They do everything because we will never give you a solution. The solution, the client has the solution. We only give the variety of options that he or she should choose. That is number one. So when we refer you to the professional counselor, we also do a referral for you to the Ghana clinic. That is the reproductive health clinic.
Okay.
Where here they will now handle you medical way. Yes. And they'll tell you these are this and this is this. Here we also have the pre and postnatal care. So we will also we'll have I'm very proud that currently I'm being called an uncle by many.
That's lovely.
Because of some ladies who wanted to abort, but when we took them through the process and they went there, they were given counsel, they decided to have their kids. And
and they've had the support that they
they had the support because we have the post and prenatal care.
Okay, that's wonderful.
Number two, we have managed to save some people because mental health since COVID-19 is an issue. And so we had these people who wanted to commit suicide. The other day we had a lady who had the relationship scandal with a boyfriend. And so she came, she wanted to jump. Yeah. So when she wanted to jump, then by that time we were in politics, then there are people who brought her to our office. But for us, if you come, we will not say that, oh, you are stupid or your boyfriend has done what. No, we want to provide that safe environment for you because we listen, we care. We first give you our ears. We will never talk, but we will listen to you. To give you that room, you feel that we are empathetic in your situation because we don't have to be sympathetic with you, but when we have the empathy, that is a great thing. So this lady never committed suicide.
You're able to help her navigate.
Now they are back in their
crisis.
relationship and they're like, she's now seeing the best side of, and thank God in December they're having a wedding.
So congratulations to them. Okay.
In December they're having a wedding. This is somebody who wanted to commit suicide.
So we're able to resolve.
We have
crisis.
gotten those who have been addicted to drugs and substance abuse, especially those who come for the tough faculties, those from medicine, those from
my people,
Engineering.
those from engineering,
right?
Those from pure and applied sciences. Yes, we have had people. We have walked the journey of addiction until now. We said majority have not gone to relapse stage. We celebrate that. Because if you see somebody old in the morning drunk, in the evening drunk, now can tell you that I can't drink. My main reason is to study and study.
That's fantastic.
And
That's
we have had
powerful.
people we are working with because we are a support system. Not only
so it's not just a one-off thing and we leave you alone. You're actually
because
there to support.
We are there because we know that there might be relapse. But we don't want, when the relapse come, let it just come by the way. But we don't want a relapse. We want to be there. As at now we are talking, we have various peer counselors having those who they are giving the support on various situations, be it drugs and substance abuse, be it drugs and substance abuse, be it the aspect of financial, because now we are especially this time around, we used to have first years who help never came, the help never came, and now they were like, should I call off? Should I do what? We will now tell them, we motivate them. You just do your best. Government will bring money, and we see some after receiving the money, they pay fee and they come celebrate. Me, I would have called off, but now because of you people are there, I didn't call off. Yes. We might not be stable financially, but we also try to provide the little. We share a meal. We say we are not having much, but the little we have cannot go dry. We share as a family. Remember, we are a family, and that's why we are geared to having best welfare of an individual. Yes.
This is so powerful because, again, just listening to you speak, especially having known the background that you've come from, it's clear that the program is having an impact not just on the services, the people receiving the services, but specifically on you because of the opportunities and the knowledge that you're gaining as being peer counselors. So I definitely applaud you guys for this program and Kenyatta University and its partners for supporting the youth as much as they are so far. Maybe because nothing is perfect, maybe as a final parting shot, what would you like to see being done better or more of through the program, or for students to have better access in terms of you've built something? I'm sure you have a vision that even as I leave this, I'd hope that it can get to this point. What would that be for you?
At some point, in as much as we have the Ghana clinic,
Mhm.
it's a challenge to some students because it's a standalone clinic. When you go to Ghana, you're going for reproductive health services.
Mhm.
So there are these students who are not very much comfortable with that.
Okay.
If it's possible, maybe in the foreseeable future,
Mhm.
to have a clinic that is not a standalone clinic, the
Okay.
better.
Okay.
But again, we are having a clinic that we are to launch in one of the hostels called Nyayo Hostels.
Mhm.
We believe that it's going to be of very great impact to the students because we'll be having not only the health services, we'll be having games for students Wednesday and Saturday just to engage them. And again, it won't be so much into reproductive health alone,
Yeah.
that when you go there, it's just contraceptives that you're going for.
Okay.
Yeah, probably that. But generally, we are thankful to Kenyatta University for supporting us all through.
Fantastic. What about you, Steven?
For me, I'll say we are. I'm looking for a place where we go digital.
Mhm.
We need to get. I try to have something on a hub where not only for the peer counseling or for when somebody has a session, you can book your session online and you come at that time, because
Right.
sometimes you'll come to the room, we have a backlog, and we are sometimes you get that it is only that Steve Obiro is the champion in that field, or Grace is the champion and she's having a client. Yes. So I'm looking for a scenario where we have an app where somebody can do booking.
Okay.
Number two, for the aspect of people who don't want their names to be mentioned, let us have the anonymous platform where we can have a toll-free number where just call, hello, you don't even say your name. I am so and so. I would like this service. Is it being offered? I am requesting for this assistance. Can I be helped? Because to be sincere, I won't go by credit and I'm going to sleep with Kangumu.
True. That's
I'll
true.
go for kata. No. Or I can't spend the money for credit. I'll have to eat fast because food is a basic need.
Yeah.
So in that regard, your toll-free number will give the communication to be very effective, and we'll have to solve various cases.
Okay.
There are some people who don't call because the number that is there is charging. When you call Steve, it will charge you. Sometimes you will reverse call Steve, but you find that Steve also is financially unstable.
Yeah.
He doesn't have credit
the ability to call you back.
to call you back. That is number. I also look forward to having a very more safer resource room where it's very youthful. Very youthful, I mean that we need to now try to revamp our resource room, which this resource room, when it is more youthful, it will attract many people and they'll come, we'll have the relaxation. This is now a plea. Everything revolves around the financial support. We are requesting those who can give the financial support to help us. We want to start a clinic at Nyayo. It is without finances, we can't run it.
Yeah.
Everything revolves about finance. And remember, SRH, even for us to have our inreaches, she said about inreaches, the ones that we have within the campus. We have also the outreaches. We should not only be limited within the Kenyatta University main campus. We also want to go to the satellite campus, but we can't go empty-handed.
True. True.
We must request if those who are able to support us, because those who in the satellite campus might also be affected. Not might, they are affected,
True.
but they don't have this peer counseling. Lastly is to request for training of peer counselors, more and more peer counselors. Because when we have more of them, giving options will be very easy. Remember, these are people who reside within the hostels. These are the people who reside within the residents around the university. And these are people who can offer the options to the students. Above all, for everything's success to be seen, we must have evidence-based.
Agreed.
Evidence-based.
Agreed.
We only have, if I can look at the peer counseling family, we only have one with the Samsung, the rest are Tecno and below. And the one with Samsung, it's Samsung that when it is 90%, it goes off. So that tells you that we don't know how to document. We can't have clear evidences. Where if we have an event, we have clear photo, and the documentation now becomes a problem. Because we want to give you that now. If you come to peer counselor, if you want to come to peer counseling, you had an event. Where is it? I'll give you a very dim photos. You'll say, I'm not sure. But if I give you clear photos, where you see that this is Obiero and this is Carren,
and maybe even some video to hear what
and
the
this,
messaging was,
and the
that
video
was
aspect,
shared.
the empowerment, because the key thing is on the awareness, and the awareness will only come if you have the more digitalized camera, and also for a proper documentation and reporting.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay. I'm sure people are listening. What about you, Carren?
If I talk of youths, peers, peer counselor, to be a peer, meeting another peer in the same, you have a problem and you're going to seek for help, and you meet the person who is in the place, is your fellow peer, or rather is in the same. Sharing information with this person is more easy than meeting the other aged people. You don't know how they're going to judge you. So I think in these clinics or in these health units, they're supposed to put those, or rather to employ those youths who are out there, who don't have job, but they are of this age. At least if we go to those health units, we meet them. Sharing our problems is kind of easy than going and meeting a person who is aged, and now you're like, okay, I want to share it with them,
And
but they're like
scared.
my parents. I don't know how they're going to judge me. So if I meet this peer, they'll be like, okay, I'm also in the same place, so I can relate. So I think adding more people who are not aged in these places are can benefit.
So you want to see a few more youthful faces in the health provision areas.
Because actually, when we always go to those health clinics in the institution that's Kenyatta University, I've never seen someone young. They're always
Nipatie kazi.
Yeah, so actually, if you go there and meet someone young, actually, you're going to have that psych. Okay, I can share this thing with.
Okay, I've really learned a lot, lots of insights, and especially a clear difference for us who would like to do better by the youth. A clear difference in what having access to information and being given opportunities does to make a difference in your lives. So thank you so much. I'll end the episode here. Thank you so much for coming on to share. For my audience, we'll continue to have this conversation online. I'm very, very excited to hear what your feedback is, especially given everything that they've shared, everything about the program that's available. You are truly change makers at the biggest level of the word. And I don't know if you see at the level at which you're causing an impact, or maybe you'll see it later in hindsight, and just how much more powerful you are given what you're doing for the community. So we applaud you, and I will definitely be celebrating the KU program. You will see me on campus soon, that's for sure.
Welcome.
Thank you so much for joining us for this episode. And thank you once again for engaging through the entire first season of this podcast. I'm looking forward to having more interactions. All our social media information will be in the description box, including theirs. And especially so for KU students, if you didn't have access to someone specific or you didn't know who you could reach out to, all their information will be available. Thank you all for joining us and looking forward to seeing you on the next one.